This is an extract from our AHK Hero Club. We have calls 3 times a week. Please like the video if you learned something. All right. Does anyone else have anything to discuss? We had a really, really interesting thing. Irfan, are you there? You can. We were automating a game. Is Irfan here? Or did we lose him? I don't see him.
I think he's muted.
See my chat.
No, I don't see him though.
Yeah, bummer. Okay. Well, Isaias, when he was automating the race car game, which actually, and I don't know if you want to even show it, but we can discuss it. I don't know if you saw that tool I made of the sending the hotkeys, sending keystrokes.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah.
We were on a call with a client where it's this advanced race car game that we're automating for these crazy wealthy people. And so he was mentioning on this one screen, some stuff we're going to have to do image search and understanding where we are because there's no we can't navigate with keystrokes or mouse click, whatever, right? And then Isaias actually said, hey, on this one, actually it's like J and K. He figured it out, right? That the client in his own program didn't realize. And I was like, so I'm just listening and I'm like, this is kind of, dumb to have to send each keystroke to see if there's a hotkey. So I'm like, can't we loop over sending keystrokes to see if the screen changes? So I wrote a little, I being Claude, wrote the script that loops over every keystroke and keystrokes with one modifier. I didn't do it with multiple modifiers down, but it would do some testing. So it was just a fun experiment, and it Claude delivered for me and gave me a thing to start with, and it wasn't perfect. But I also tried the 3 different send levels, like control send plus the 2 send modes from the regular keystrokes also, right? Because I want to see what really works. But then we were automating the game, and Irfan, he's like, he got stuck. And he's like, let me explain this to you, Joe. So he runs one instance of the script, and he can't automate the game. And then what he noticed was like sometimes the thing works and sometimes it doesn't work, and he couldn't figure out why that was going on. And then he realized if he creates a second script and launches it, the second one will work. And even the second one will work, but you can close the first one. And so this is basically when he asked me to join the call, and he's like, help me understand, let's figure out what's going on here. So I'm like, hey, first off, the second script was different. And I said, okay, get just one script and copy it, create a new version of the same one, launch that as the second one. We tested that. The same thing worked, right? And it was really weird. Okay. And then I said, hey, after it launches, run the game and launch it again. That still didn't work. And then I'm like, I said, well, turn off the singles and force, and let's just launch the same thing twice. And that actually, if you waited a bit, worked. So Isaias, do you have any idea what?
Yeah, right away, as soon as he described it, now came something into mind. So what I noticed, not only on that game, but other games, if you have a script working and then you launch the game registers a bunch of hotkeys and kills the ones that you have. Now, if the game is running and then you launch the script, your hotkeys replace the ones from the game. It seems to be, I think I understand now what is going on, that when I do the first part of the automation, a new window or a new version of the game pops up that registers a bunch of hotkeys that then kill the ones that I have, which is interesting because it's not a problem with AutoHotkey or the game. It's just that game dynamically sets up the hotkeys probably. And when it does that, it kills the hotkeys of the running script, which is annoying now because then that means that we have to kind of like redefine the hotkeys maybe.
That unfortunately wasn't what it was. Although, I mean, we did try that and that didn't fix it. So
okay,
what it was we had to turn on the watching of the win hook, or what's it called for the keystrokes. So
Yeah.
what we noticed, for whatever reason, the second when we looked into, you know how when you launch a script and you go down the system tray icon and show your window and you can see like your last keystrokes, and we realized one was not reported. The first one would not report any keystrokes. The second one was, and then Irfan thankfully noticed, hey, the win hook, the keyboard hook isn't on in the first one, but it is in the second one. And so we had to add a line about
The install keyboard hook.
But what I still don't get is, why would it register it in the second one, even if it's the same code and didn't have it? So we didn't. The code was identical.
That explains. So let me. That's a good question. Here, when you say F1 here, message box true, okay? The way how AutoHotkey registers that hotkey is by using an operating system function call that is register hotkey, and it puts it in a table. Now, when that table is set up, now the operating system knows that every time you press F1, should call the function that we defined, and in this case is the message box. When the game starts, or in certain places of the game, it seems to be that they call that same function, that register hotkey function. And if they do the registering of F1, they effectively replace the current table with their version, and now F1 is tied to their game, not ours. When we use the hook, and actually if you use the $, it automatically adds the hook for this. AutoHotkey does not really use the register function call. What it does is that it creates a different type of hook that is not replaced by this table anymore, because what it's saying is to the operating system, whenever the physical key is pressed, notify everybody and notify me as well. So when you create a hook, you're not replacing this table, you're just connecting to a message that the operating system sends that says, okay, the keyboard was pressed, everybody who needs that notification, here you go, and it goes notifying everybody, including us. And then when the game starts or does whatever it's doing that replaces the table, we don't get affected, because whenever we press the physical key, we still get notification from the operating system, not from the table. Does that make sense? That's the way that is kind of like making sense. I'm not saying that's what is happening, but that might explain why the same exact script worked the second time, because what we did is the game already created the table, and now when you run it again, now we replace the table, so our script is running. So we replace the table for the game. But again, that's also another reason why the hook works, because it doesn't matter what the game does, we are hooked to the event, and it doesn't matter what the game does, which makes sense, which would be interesting. I will try to fix it that way. I did not try to use the keyboard hook. And if you're wondering, if you want to know how to do that, there is a command, if I remember right, that is install kvd hook is what is called in V2 now. So
I think it was use hook. Is there a use hook? If I remember correctly, is what Irfan added.
I'm not sure. Let's take a look. Right. So let me see if I could
change the V1 to V2. I remember that.
Right. So this is V2. Install kvd hook. This one is one that I know of. Oh, there is a directive use hook. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
so this is the directive. So the one that I was referring to is is dynamic. So you can call it whenever you want, because it's a function. Install kvd hook. This is dynamic. It's a function call. And because of that, you can use if statements. So you can say, if the game is active, we install the keyboard hook. If it is not active, we remove it. That's great for dynamic allocation of the hook. I'm not sure if there are any exceptions to that. You see, this is what I meant. So the keyboard hook monitors keystrokes and any keyboard hotkeys not supported by the register hotkey function. So this function, register hotkey, is from the operating system, and using the keyboard hook is different than calling this. So if AutoHotkey calls register hotkey, and then the game calls register hotkey, then the game replaces the AutoHotkey script. That's what happens.
Mhm.
But when you're doing the hook, it doesn't matter if the game calls register hotkey, because we're not actually registering the hotkey the same way. We're hooking to the event. And because of that, it probably works regardless of what the game is doing. But AutoHotkey does not install those hooks automatically because they use a little bit of memory. And at that time, memory was expensive. Now it's not. Now it doesn't really matter. But anyways, it seems to be that we kept that to save memory kind of way. So again, that makes sense to me. I just haven't tested it. I didn't test it when I was having the issue, but now it makes sense, right? But I will take a look at that and see if that.
Well, explore our huge library of 466 plus hours of recorded AHK tutorials. Watch, rewind, and master tricks at your own pace. Grab 25% off all our AHK goodies, courses, scripts, and custom work so you save cash while building your toolkit like a boss.